Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cathedral Bluffs Symphony Orchestra Spotlight Series. I'm Wendy Lamberti, Marketing Director for the CBSO, and today I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce our featured soprano for our upcoming season finale concert, Darkness to Light, on Saturday, May 30th. Conducted by our own conductor, Martin McDonald, this very special concert features soprano Emily Rocha, mezzo-soprano Queen Huzim Yango, and the Pax Christi Chorale under the artistic director of Elaine Choi. As part of Cathedral Bluffs' 40th anniversary season, we'll be performing Mahler's monumental Symphony No. 2 in C minor, the Resurrection Symphony, an epic journey from despair to hope, from darkness to light. And as I said, joining me today is one of the incredible artists bringing part of this masterpiece to life, soprano Emily Rocha. Emily is a captivating and compelling Canadian soprano of Portuguese and New Zealand descent, currently a member of the Canadian Opera Company's Ensemble Studio. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great that you're here, and I'm really thrilled to talk to you today. So let's start by getting to know you a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your musical journey? How did you find your way to become a soprano?
I always loved to sing and perform, but not always opera. It took me a bit to get there. So I started in the pop musical theater world while also playing the violin, and those weren't really the ideal fit for my voice. So once I started taking singing lessons with a classical teacher, it just felt right. And it took me to my true calling, which is opera.
And you were studying here in Ontario?
Yes, I was studying at the University of Toronto for both my undergrad and my master's degree. And being at the COC now is such a full circle moment because I saw my first opera at the COC when I was 15, and I saw La Traviata there, and that just sealed the deal for me.
Amazing. And so was that the defining moment that you knew that this was the path?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just the most heightened form of theater that you can find. The music just transports you, and the capabilities of the human voice are just unbelievable sometimes, especially in a piece like that.
So who were some early influencers or mentors? Now, looking at the former graduates, as you could say, from the Ensemble Studio, including people like Isabelle Bargdarian, Misha Berger-Gossman, Simone Osborne, Emily D'Angelo, we have Michael Sade, and Russell Braun. So who are your icons and people that really influenced the beginning of your opera path?
Well, definitely hearing all of those names. I mean, seeing all the amazing talent that have come out of the Ensemble Studio has been so inspiring throughout my life. My parents definitely are a huge inspiration for me. My mom is a flute player and my dad is really enthusiastic about opera, and he's actually really the one who sort of initiated my interest in opera. And they've always been so supportive of me and of my path. Some other mentors early in my development were my voice teacher at high school, Erin Collins, my drama teacher at high school, Glenn Rabjohn, my first singing teacher, Melanie Hartshorn-Walton, and then in university, Lorna MacDonald, my teacher, and Sandra Horst, who's the head of the opera program at U of T and also the chorus master at the COC. So it's kind of amazing to work with her now at the COC, having also worked with her at U of T too.
Yeah. Yeah, so being a member of the Ensemble Studio, can you tell us a little bit about the program? How do you get into it? And Queen, the other singer that's going to be doing Mahler, is also in the Ensemble program. So, what COC productions have you worked in through the Ensemble Studio program?
So I was on stage in Madama Butterfly last year as Kate Pinkerton, and then this year as Countess Ceprano in Rigoletto. Um, and then I was behind the scenes quite a bit, especially this year, covering roles like Gilda in Rigoletto, Juliet in Romeo and Juliet, Eurydice in Orfeo ed Eurydice, and Sophie coming up in May of this year. And I'll also be back next spring to sing Adina in The Elixir of Love at the COC as well.
Wow. So there's a great opportunity. It's like the
Absolutely.
Ensemble Studio program is a great kickoff to the to a an opera singer's career, and it's a fantastic program. So let's talk a little bit about the Mahler. Mahler Symphony Number 2, the Resurrection Symphony, is such a profound and emotional work. What does this piece mean to you personally?
Well, it's such a transcendent experience to listen to it. We explore life, death, rebirth, and I think for me, thinking about, what happens after death, it's it's just a sort of a celebration of everything we have in life and the possibility of what comes after. And it just is such a spiritual experience to listen to it. And I'm honestly so excited to be part of it, truly, because it is monumental, as you said.
So, singing Mahler, of course, is completely different than singing Wagner or Mozart or Puccini.
Hmm.
What would be the main differences? Like this isn't an opera, obviously,
Hmm.
but what would be the main as far as the sort of things that you would be looking at and doing and singing technique, or is there any difference?
I would say, I mean, definitely compared to Mozart, because I have not sung Wagner yet. Who knows if that's in my future, but at least compared to Mozart, the vocal line is a lot more generous. You have to be a bit more generous with it, and just enjoy the harmonic shifts because there are definitely more of those than in Mozart. More delicious harmonies and dissonances to lean into.
And also the main difference also is that you're on the stage with the orchestra behind you instead of on the stage with the orchestra in the orchestra pit. So
Yes.
does it involve more projection and singing louder and
To be honest, I mean, in my experiences singing with an orchestra behind me, I almost feel sometimes more supported by the orchestra, and I feel like sort of less exposed, so it's more comforting in a way. Um, I don't know if
have
that.
you performed any of the Mahler symphonies before?
No,
No,
this is a first,
it's a first.
hopefully of many. It's a
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
it's a very exciting first for sure.
And speaking of Mahler, I see that 2 years ago, in January of 23, you performed with the in the concerto competition for the University of Toronto Symphony Orchestra concerto competition, and you were performing a piece by Mahler called
Yes.
you can say what it's called,
The Rückert Lieder.
the
So it's
Rooked Leader.
a collection of Lieder by Mahler, and they were not written to form a set, but they are performed often as a set, and so they're just such beautiful, lush pieces, and that was my first sort of foray into Mahler's world, and I just fell in love with his writing through that experience, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So what's it like stepping into a piece of this emotional and psychological depth?
I think it's a profound experience, and it makes you think about your role in the world, honestly, and in existence and your relationships with everyone every day and being sort of interconnected, I think. It's very spiritual, this piece, and so of course makes me think that way as well. But
Well, the movement
It's
just
just,
before you is like a big giant war. It's like it's there's a lot of things happening. It's very, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And then all of a sudden in the last movement, the final movement, it's the most transcendent moments in the entire symphonic repertoire where you come out of nowhere. And
Mhm.
I recently listened to a recording with Dutch soprano Emily Amelink with the Royal Pacific
Mhm.
Orchestra and Bernard Haitink. And this, her voice just comes out of nowhere after all this chaos in the movement before, and then all of a sudden you hear the soprano. It's like a, well, it's like a reformation. It's like the beginning of life again. That everything
Mhm.
happened, and now we're starting over. So, can you describe what it feels like to come in at that point? You haven't had rehearsals yet, of course, but in studying and working towards performing this, what sort of do you like envision that you're in a field and you see a sunset or sunrise, or what? How does that work?
I mean, I think it's moments like those that make me want to do what I do. they're they're just the sacred special moments of stillness and then beauty. Um, and it's so magical and intimate for this, especially as I enter with the chorus. Um, it's just the chorus singing without the orchestra, and then the orchestra comes in and gradually comes in and we sort of have a conversation. And I think it's such a beautiful sort of representation of what the text is saying.
And what is
Um,
the text saying?
the text is saying after death there is new possibility, to sum it up, you know.
Exactly
um,
the way Mahler meant it to be. That you have this great emotional blah, 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 and then it starts up again with this after death thing. So, what should the audience be listening for when you enter?
I think the audience should listen to see if they can notice the moment when the soprano line emerges from the chorus line. It just sort of comes out of, sort of, like, on the page it literally looks like
Yeah.
um it's beautifully dissonant and ethereal. It's just an angelic moment. And then I think, honestly, the last few minutes of this piece are just some of the most epic, soul-shattering moments of music ever written,
This symphony is
honestly.
basically the hit, the top 10 hit for Mahler. This symphony,
Yep.
hands down, is the best thing that he's done amazing thing, but this is right at the top. So this performance brings together a full symphony orchestra, two vocal soloists, the Pax Christi chorale, well over 100 musicians on the stage. So what's that experience like as a soloist?
It's very powerful. It's super powerful to collaborate with a choir and an orchestra. Um, just experiencing the sheer volume that this number of musicians can create. It's you can feel it in your body. And with a piece like this, it's even more powerful. It's a unifying moment in the work for everyone, I think. After chaos, like you said, we come together um, for this epic finale.
Yeah.
It is epic.
It is definitely epic, and you mentioned you'd not worked together with our conductor Martin McDonald before. So working with him, are you going to be working like ahead of him without the orchestra? And how does that work to shape your interpretation together with the music director?
I'm very much looking forward to meeting him and working with him. Um, the way I usually approach it, of course, we come in with our own ideas, but ultimately we collaborate, so we bring our unique perspectives together to create the strongest possible interpretation that works for such a large group and for my vision for it as well.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
the scale of the piece does change how you approach the performance.
Definitely. I mean, I think Well, I think I strive to keep my process pretty consistent, coming in with my own ideas, but ready to collaborate. For this piece, I think it'll be very interesting, an interesting experience of sort of discovery for me because I only sing in the last movement. So I'll have a deeper understanding of that than the rest.
You're going to be sitting right at the front of the orchestra for the entire concert. Almost 50 minutes go by, and then all of a sudden you get to sing. So how are you preparing your throat? How are you getting ready, taking a sip of water? What are you going to be, what's going on while you're waiting?
I think honestly the best way for a piece like this is to just take in what's happening.
Yeah.
And go on that journey with all of you, and then join in when it's my turn. But I mean, from a technical standpoint, I'll make sure my breath is still moving, and make sure I'm really well hydrated beforehand, but also throughout, but mostly just enjoy the journey and ride the wave with you.
Yeah. So this concert is titled Darkness to Light, which beautifully reflects the emotional arc of Mahler's Second Symphony. And there's my dog barking. There's somebody at the door. How do you connect with those themes of struggle, transformation, and ultimately hope?
I mean, we all experience difficult, dark times, especially right now in the world. There's so much hate and violence happening. And the older I get, the more loss I experience, as we all do. However, even after the devastating times, we have to hope that the light will come back. We have to hope that our smiles will come back even during or after grief, and for the sun to shine again, And I think this piece is a reminder for myself and for audiences that hope is the most powerful thing we can have, and we have to hold on to it. No matter what.
And that's a great way to take us to our next section. When you think about this piece that continues to resonate so deeply today because of what's going on in the world, and we're not going to go into that today, but for everyone that's considering to attend this concert, why is this performance? What is it about this performance they absolutely should not miss, and why should they buy tickets?
Well, Mahler's Second Symphony, this symphony, is one of the most epic works out there, a true masterpiece, and witnessing it live with full orchestra, choir, and soloist is an experience of a lifetime. It'll make you feel so deeply. It'll hopefully heal any wounds that you have within you right now. Music is so healing, and pieces like this there's a reason they're done so much, and I just think it's a powerful reminder that of hope.
Yeah. Well, that's very well said, Emily, and thank you so much for joining me today. We're so excited to hear you in this extraordinary performance. I'll be in the orchestra playing on my horn. So to our audience, don't miss Darkness to Light on Saturday, May 30th at 8 p.m. as the Cathedral Bluffs Symphony Orchestra celebrates its 40th anniversary finale season, and finale in this season with Mahler's powerful Resurrection Symphony, featuring yourself, Emily, and Queen, and the not Queen the band, but Queen the singer, and the Paxi Christy Corral, who sang with us last season in the wonderful performance of Beethoven's Ninth. That was a great season starter for last season. It's a once-in-a-lifetime season experience and an unforgettable journey from darkness to light. And you can find more information about the concert on our website at cathedralbluffs.com. And thank you again, Emily. Any closing thoughts or words or notes?
Thank you so much for having me, and please come to this amazing concert.
Yes, please come. Well, thanks again so much, Emily, and have a great evening.